know how. I thought it was safe, but I got a plan. Let's load up the chopper and ride it around.
I pull up on them while you sleep. You gon' see, it's a fucking murder spree.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, whatever time of day it is for each and every one of you. I hope it has been wonderful. We're going to be going into the Spanish Grand Prix this weekend. We've got our Pistons going in for the second time. We're going to see if it'll pass. We have 3.84 million, which we're going to keep saving, and 156 R&D points, which we will not be able to do anything with. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and advance time forward. I hope you guys liked last episode. That was probably the cleanest race I have run yet. First, we got to do one of these, though. I think we should do some chassis team building, because we haven't done much chassis upgrades. Maybe that'll lead to something in the future with them. So advancing forward, we do get our Pistons to come in right before the Spanish Grand Prix weekend, which is great. Allows us to have a lot of power. And also, I just remembered that at the end of the race in last episode, we got told that our freaking, what's it called? Turbocharger. Our turbocharger was on its last legs, so we're going to go ahead and order a new one of those. We don't need a new gearbox for another 6 events because we're already starting at the back of the grid due to our gearbox failure in qualifying, so we decided to get a new one to go ahead and boost us forward. Our sponsors are Slingshot, Equita Oil, and Moon. So we actually have to add Moon to our car. They probably weren't too happy about not being on there for this Grand Prix weekend. So, my bad to Moon. Sponsor 1, 2. How about the wing? Rear wing. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so they're on our car now, and we will go ahead and jump into... I'm going to do the practices, and then we will see you guys for qualifying. Alright, coming around the final couple corners here for our very first qualifying run. It was a decent lap. It looks like it's going to be right around a 121. Actually 121 right on the money, which will put us up into P6. So I didn't actually get to do another lap. I misjudged the timing and went off the track. So unfortunate, but we will be starting P22 on the grid.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You lost to your teammate today. Was it just not your day? You won't be starting at the front of the pack. Are you worried? Great. Well, that's everything.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture on the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Albon. Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez, and Esteban Ocon. Norris, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, and Kvyat. Grosjean, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and Mick Schumacher. Giovinazzi, Russell, Latifi, and the captain. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
One, two, three, four, 5 red lights, and they're out, and away we go. We get a good jump. Latifi is going right down the middle of Giovinazzi and George Russell. We're going to go ahead and try to follow him through this gap, break a little early so we can get to the outside and go around the two Williams. We see Mick right there on the inside as Latifi goes for another dive down the inside of us, but we will be able to hold him off for now. Looking down the inside of Schumacher, we decide to just stay behind him and coast our way around the hectic start. There we make our dive down the inside, no contact with anybody. We are doing it just fine so far in this Grand Prix. Kind of just holding our spot for now. We're going to make a right hand, follow this train around down one of the DRS straights, past 2 cars, the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi and the Haas of Magnussen, who we do make contact with, and Giovinazzi gets around the outside of him. Kimi Raikkonen in front of us, the other Alfa is behind us currently through all of lap 1. Little bit of oversteer there as we clip the curb, but we're going to come around and down the main straight through the grandstands and across for our to start our second lap. Jumping forward to lap number 5 now, we will be getting past a couple of cars just because they are in the pits. Our strategy is to run a little bit longer on the mediums and pit for soft tires near the end of the race to hopefully have more pace than some of the other drivers around. Finishing up lap 6 now, we're coming by the pits. We see a lot of people in the pits bumping us all the way up to P9 as we hear that Mick is also in the pits, all the way up to P8. But Giovinazzi is going to have a run at us down around the outside. He locks up his front right tire and allows us to scoot right by him, back up and into P8. Jumping forward a little bit later in lap 7, we see Daniel Ricciardo goes out of the session and the safety car gets deployed. So at the end of this lap, we will be diving into the pits to get our soft tires put on for 10 laps to see how well we can manage. And this is, I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but we will be putting our soft tires on sooner, but that also means that they will be more done by the end of the race coming around. Diving down into the pits now, we're going to see how fast the boys can get us in and out. Looks like we've got a couple people following behind us, but this could be potentially make or break for us right now. We started before pits in at P17, so let's see if we can make any improvements whatsoever. As a Force India Racing Point, whatever you want to call it, comes out in front of us. The boys give us a 1.9 second stop, but we do get held up by a red light of a AlphaTauri coming out. That allows Kimi Raikkonen to get by, as well as Roman Grosjean, who we do come close to hitting there. I was just seeing if I could get in front of him, but at the end of this, after our pits, we come out P16, so we have improved by a total of 1 position, which is, I mean, that's a plus. We got ahead of 1 more car, and it looks like Mick actually did really good with his pit strategy, and he got ahead of Giovinazzi and the two Williams, and somebody else was back there. Alright, safety car is over, and we are back to racing. Coming through lap 11 now. We just moved up from P16, or no, from P17 up into P15 because people were pitting late after the safety car for some reason. So we actually, indeed, instead of gaining 1, we gained 3 positions because we pitted at the very start of the safety car. So let's see if we can use that to benefit ourselves and finish a little bit higher up than we thought before. Boom, just like that. Later in lap 11, we get the move done on Roman Grosjean and keep on trucking. P14 now. Alright, very uneventful rest of the race. We do have to cover off Roman Grosjean from attacking us down. We are in the last lap, lap 17, out of 17. Coming around, we're checking everything. Everything is actually holding up very well. Probably because it's all brand new anyways. Coming around through sector 1, we do not improve our time at all, which is expected. These are 10 lap old soft tires, so we're not doing too well, as you can see there on the tire chart. Our whole left side is at 60 and 40%. It's really hard making these turns. The car is just understeering. It won't grip onto anything. Here, it's really just every turn just keeps getting worse and worse. Lewis Hamilton, we see, finishes on pole position, or just in first place. He started on pole and ends in first place. We are coming in around this last little sector here, and we will be able to coast along the line. Roman Grosjean finishing directly behind us, so we do hold the P14 spot.
A real team effort which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the captain. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
Let's move on to the constructors. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. How's your grid penalty going to affect your strategy going into the race? You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? Appreciate your time.
As frickin' always, thank you guys so much for showing up, and I really do appreciate each and every single one of you. I would appreciate if you subscribed, gave this video a like, and gave me some feedback down in the comments below on what you think should happen as I carry it forward with the series. Thank you all so much for showing up, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.